So welcome back to Orchid House. I'm Olivier in Fort Lauderdale, and today I wanted to show you Phalaenopsis philippinensis. There's a little bug damage there. Delightful little flowers. If you look at the back here, they're like very pinkish. I think it's going to fade after a while. And then the leaves themselves, the newest leaves are very purple. Then as they age, they turn green. I'm going to talk about this mite damage afterwards. It's dry now, it's not active. Then it has an active root ball. So, first of all, when people think of Phalaenopsis, everybody has these beautiful hybrids that they sell everywhere. And then the reality is that in the Phalaenopsis genus there's approximately 70 species, and the vast majority are small flowers, really small ones, so like 90% of them. So there's only a few that are really large flowers. This is part of the larger ones, but among the larger ones this is probably the smallest. So there are three Phalaenopsis species that are white. You have Aphrodite, Amabilis, that you see in all the big hybrids, and then this one, which strangely enough I believe is not so popular in hybrids for whatever reason. First of all, the flowers are smaller, but I think they are delightful. Now, this plant is 6 years old. It's not been a big success, to say the least. Actually, I bought it in bloom, and then this is the first time it blooms since. I mean, last year there was a spike, and then the thrips got it and killed it. So what happened? So first of all, this was the mother plant, and the mother plant, after being mounted, was never really happy. There's only 2 leaves left. It's not very thick, but it started making a kiki, so a plantlet that now turned into a nice plant, and that's the one that's really taking over. So I guess that one needed to establish itself. Then I had a mite infestation, and these mites are sneaky. They go in between the leaf axils, they hide. If you don't pay attention, they do extensive damage. So I had to, for 1 year, to fight it regularly, treat them regularly until I got it under control. So I think that's basically the history of this plant. This year finally I have a beautiful spike. I think there was a second one that tried to start. It's going to be tough to show, but I don't think it's going to develop. I mean, these things bloom mostly in the spring. So it has mottled leaves, so it indicates that they don't like direct sunlight. Like most Phalaenopsis, they do best in a shady environment. This one I give a little bit more light than others. And it's mounted, so I water it every day. I mean, it's supposed to have an aggressive root system, so I don't know, maybe my mount is a little small. So Jim Rubio, who's a gentleman from the Philippines, he always interacts whenever I post something about a Philippine species, and especially Phalaenopsis. So he told me once that these were tough to bloom, at least in my environment, so I do not recall what it is. So Jim, if you see the video, please comment and tell me what the situation is. If you think the mount should be larger, I will put it on a larger mount as well. But for now I'm just enjoying finally having these beautiful blooms coming out. And that's all I wanted to share with you today. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.